it's Darby from rejoiceandcreate.com, and this is a little mini series of 5 videos that I created because I was gifted a paper pad that was 4.5 by 6.5 inches. Now, I know a lot of the companies have gone to the 6x6, 8x8, or 12x12 pads, but there are still some of these around, and they're quite pretty. And although I didn't have any when I was gifted this, I thought, how fun would that be? 6.5 by 4.5, that gives me an even number plus a 1/2 inch for a tab. Perfect for making bags and boxes. And that's exactly what I did. I sat down and created, and I think I have maybe 4 sheets left of this, and you can see the wonderful array of colors it comes in. So through this series, I want to go ahead and show you the boxes or containers that I made with this. Today we're going to be making this cute little guy. And this one is, let's see, 2.5 inches long by 1 3/4 inches wide by 1 inch tall. And this one opens like a clamshell, and it fits 2 of the little mini chocolate bars. And I still have some left over from the Independence Day celebrations. They're not all gone yet, but we'll go ahead and it can fit some other little candies and treats in there as well. And we'll go ahead and make this one today. Alright, so this box is a little bit of a clamshell box. It just opens with the front swinging back. And we're going to use this paper that's 4.5 by 6.5 inches, and it's from the Terrace Blooms by the Paper Studio. And I got it from Hobby Lobby, I believe, with a 40% off coupon. So putting the 6.5 inch side, let's go ahead and score it at 1 inch, 2 3/4 inches, 3 3/4 inches, and 5.5 inches. All right, turn it to the short side and score it at 1 inch and 3.5 inches. All right, so let's go ahead and fold and burnish our score lines. Okay, let's go ahead and put it horizontal, and that center 1 inch section we're going to cut first. And what you'll do is on one edge of it up to the score line, we'll cut on the rectangle side of that score line straight up, and then slightly notch into the square on the other side of the score line. All right, do the same on the other side. Just cut straight up that rectangle and then cut into that score line. Now that little square tab on the end, we're going to do the same thing. Cut up on the rectangle side of the score line and slightly notch. And I'm going to go ahead and leave that one there because it helps me line up my box. So go to this side and we'll cut up the rectangle side of that score line straight, and then just go ahead and notch it over. All right, we'll do the same thing to the other side. Okay, so this is what we have. I'm going to go ahead and put some Tombow Extreme on the tabs. Okay, and because mine has no pattern, I have no preference which is top or bottom, I'm just going to go ahead and start building this side. So go ahead and put that up, and I line up that top with the corner. Same with the other side on the front. Okay, and these center tabs will move towards the bottom. So we'll go ahead and hook those into the bottom, and I just kind of eyeball a right angle so I make sure I'm lining it up right. Okay. Now what I do is I actually fold the top over, and before I stick it, I'm going to go ahead and punch a little bit of a finger notch. So I know this is my top, and I'll center it between the two sides and just punch a little finger notch. All right, so I like to close it forward, and I like to close my front down, and this helps me snug it up a bit. Put those up for a moment. I hold that side over and then rock this one down and stick it. Same with this one. I hold this side over and then push this one down and stick it. Okay, so you have a nice snug fit on these. Make sure I've got that one down well. And actually what I like to do is just to cut off or round off these edges. You could round them with a corner rounder, or I'm just going to cut it at an angle. All right. There we go. All snugged down. Actually stays pretty well. And now let's go ahead and decorate it. All right, because I have one around, I'm going to go ahead and use the Pretty Label Punch, and this is from Stampin' Up. I'm going to use that for my background label. And I'm going to use this scalped oval punch. It's an old retired punch, but let me punch it out and I'll tell you what the size is. And I'm using it out of Early Espresso because I think that the brown would be a nice contrast. And let me just punch out the oval that will go into the center of it, and I'm punching that one out of Very Vanilla, and this is also a retired Stampin' Up punch, but let me measure those for you so you know what sizes they are. Alright, so the center oval I have is approximately 1 3/4 inches by 7/8 of an inch wide, so 1 3/4 inch by 7/8, and it will layer on top of this oval that's scalloped that is 2 inches by 1 1/8 inch. All right, to give it a little bit definition, I'm going to go ahead and just slightly edge this one around with the Early Espresso ink, as well as just a little bit on my sentiment, although I probably should stamp it first because knowing me, I do this and then it doesn't work well and I have to get another one. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and use the Tiny Tag Sayings from Lawn Fawn, and I get a lot of use out of this one because I like sizes that fit on my smaller tags, and actually they do have some dies that will come along. You can buy it separately, but they do coordinate with it, and they have this set of Tiny Tags dies, and then they have a Christmas and a fall set too. And I'm going to use the one that says A Little Something For You. And I'll go ahead and stamp it up with Early Espresso, and I'll move it to the right a little bit. Alright, and I have a few of these little embellishments, and I don't know where I got these from, I'm sorry, but they're little butterflies, inside hearts, they're open hearts, and they're little butterflies. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp a little bit of a decoration on it. And this one will be with some Early Espresso. I'll put some on the wings. And then I have some Blushing Bride, just a pink, and I'm going to stamp a heart right in the middle of the butterfly. Alright, so I'm going to glue this to the backing. And then we'll put a piece of foam tape underneath it to pop it up. And then I'll use a couple glue dots to glue this little butterfly on. Oh, so I have glue dots just on the one side because the other side will hang off a little. And let's go ahead and glue that on. Oops. Okay, well that's not cooperating. I think I'm done with that. Oh, it just ran out of my Tombow Extreme, so let's go ahead and just use some Tombow liquid glue. And we'll go ahead and glue that on. Isn't that sweet? And it makes a very sweet little box. It fits some nice little candies in there, or some little jewelry, perhaps some earrings. So I hope you enjoyed the project today. It's another one of the 4.5 by 6.5 inch paper pad projects. If you liked the video, please subscribe and hit the bell notification to be notified of new videos as I upload them. For more information, please go to rejoiceandcreate.com. And as always, until we meet again, I hope your days are blessed. Bye!